In this video, I'm going to give you an introduction to reverse lens macro photography. Hello, my name is Stewart. If this is your first time to this channel, then click the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. In this video, I'm going to be doing some reverse lens macro photography. I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to give you the reasons as to why I don't personally do it that often. There's a couple of things you need to buy in order to do this. There's a couple of adapters you need to buy to make this work, and I will go through that in the video. All the links to the products I use in this video are down below. They are Amazon affiliate links. By law, I have to tell you that. But they do help out the channel if you do use them. So in this video, I'm going to be using two lenses. I've got my 50mm f1.8, which is the nifty 50 from Canon. And I also have it's the Tokina. This is the 28mm Pentax mount lens from the last video. I'm going to be using these two lenses to conduct a few little tests and just to explain how to do reverse lens macro photography. So important, the very first thing you need for reverse lens macro photography is one of these. This is a reverse lens mount. It has the Canon EOS system on the one side. That's the mount for the Canon cameras. And we have a filter thread on the other side. This is a 52mm filter thread. So if you're looking at getting one of these, what's important is you have to make sure it's compatible for your camera. So if you're using Sony, you have to have a Sony mount. If you've got Nikon, then you use a Nikon mount. And then whichever lens you're going to use, you need to make sure you buy the right filter size for that lens. Unless, of course, you can always get step up and step down filter threads for your lenses as well, so you can put those together and make this work. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a picture of each lens without reverse mounting it. Now I'm going to keep my f-stop at f8 on both lenses, and then we'll see what the differences are. The first up is the Canon 50mm 1.8. That's the 50mm from Canon, that's without reverse mounting it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reverse mount this lens. So let me just take my flash off. There we go. Put that down on the desk. And the first thing you will notice as soon as you do this, well, two things you'll notice, particularly on the 50mm. So you're going to lose your ability to control your f-stop, and we've lost the ability to mount our flash onto the front of our lens. Now I'll raise round this and I'm going to show you that. First thing, let's deal with the f-stop now. As soon as I reverse mount this lens, it's going to be stuck at f1.8, and I don't want that. Now to get around that, if you want to change your f-stop, what you got to do is make sure you got your f-stop selected on the camera. Press the preview for your depth of field button, which is just here. So this is the depth of field preview button. Press that in and hold it, and then take your lens off the camera while still holding that in. And then what you'll find is that is now at f8. It will remain there now until I reconnect it to the camera. So now we have our lens at f8. But here's the problem now. We've lost the ability to mount our flash. So let me just take a picture. Right up close, and this is going to be so underexposed. Yeah, basically it's black. So that's where the second little gizmo comes in handy that I've got here. Now this is a reverse lens. I think they call it a protection bracket. But basically this goes onto the other end of the lens. So on this side here, as an EOS mounting system, again check what you're buying, because you want it to make sure it's compatible with your camera. And where's my red ring? There it is. And what this is designed to do primarily is to protect the back of your lens while you're doing macro photography. But the cool thing is it has a filter thread on it. Now this filter thread is a 58mm filter thread. So that will allow me to mount my flash back onto my camera. So now I have my flash mounted back onto my camera. My lens is set at f8, it's reversed, so now we should be able to get a good shot of Chewie here. So you can see there from the overhead camera, this is where it comes to point number 2 why I don't like reverse mounting my my lenses. The working distance is so short that anything you're trying to photograph will A, have flown away by now, or B, these diffusers will have hit whatever you're trying to photograph. It is very hard to do. So generally I would only do reverse lens macro photography on still subjects, flarers, I don't know, circuit boards, stuff like that, still life. I wouldn't use it for insects or any creature that is moving. You're going to find it very hard to get focused. Okay, but with that being said, let's take a look at the 28mm lens. So now we have the 28mm lens on here. We have the f-stop manually set to f8. There's no need to do a depth of field preview and take your lens off on this because it's a manual aperture right there. So let's get a shot of Chewie here now. Okay, so you can see there we have that picture, and now we're going to reverse mount this lens as well. Okay, so we have the 28mm now mounted onto my Canon camera, reverse mounted I should say, and we have the flash attached. We're using that little the gizmo I got off Amazon. Let's take another picture. It's so dark, I can't see anything. Jesus. And yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to move him forward. Let's try again. Can you see? I physically can't get, I mean, how far have I got to be for this? There. 1 inch is the working distance on that. For me, that's just not practical at all. That is why I don't do reverse lens mounting macro photography, because I find that the working distance is just too short. This is why I find macro extension shoots to be far more versatile, particularly when it comes to photographing insects. There's no way I'm getting 1 inch away from an insect and it's not flying away. It's just the way it is. You can see there, by reverse mounting the lens, we are much closer to our subject. What it does is it basically magnifies the subject. However, you do lose light, so you do need to introduce some artificial light like from the twin macro flash. The focal length of the lens affects how much magnification you get when you reverse mount it onto your camera. That's why the 50mm lens is better to work with than the 28mm lens. Now, that being said, some people use reverse lens mounting and they have success, but me personally, I prefer to use extension tubes, and that's why I don't do reverse lens mounting. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Don't let me put you off doing reverse lens mounting on your for macro photography. I mean, if you want to give it a go, go ahead. This is just my personal opinion that I don't do it because of the working distance. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.